Hi, my name is Brett Bramble, and I'm a person in recovery. This is my recovery story. I started young, very young, 12 years old, when I started using drugs and getting into trouble. This was also concurrent with when I was started to experience some childhood trauma that was ongoing, that I had to deal with on my own at the time. And so over the next few years, it just progressively got worse and worse, and so did I, as far as substance use and crime goes. And as soon as I turned 17, I caught a felony charge and didn't even stop there. The next couple of years just continued to progress and got another felony and had to serve some time in prison after that. Um, that for me, being in prison, which really wasn't so bad, being a young person with no responsibilities, but I knew that I didn't want to live my life that way. I didn't want to spend my whole future just caught in that trap, in that cycle. And so I made that conscious effort to just change the stars a little bit and do something about it. So didn't know how, didn't know what to do, but I got out. Life was hard. I mean, it was 2008 when I got out of prison, and the economy had just collapsed, and here I am, two felonies on my record and no education. But I fought through it. I just did what I had to do. I got into counseling, and for me, that's what saved my life was cognitive behavioral therapy. When I learned how to control my thoughts and recognize my emotions and stop the bad ones before they became destructive behavior, that for me was a concept that I just didn't understand before. And my recovery is mostly up here in my head, mental health. Um, there, it was I never had much of a physical addiction to anything. I just literally just had a rage within me that was out of control. And so to learn to control that has been something that I've been working on for 12, 13 years now, and constantly tested. Every day you get tested with that kind of stuff, but especially in 2020. But I'm doing good, and I'm so grateful. Unfortunately, it hasn't always been easy. So as soon as I started to get my life together, my sister, the closest person in the world to me, and she had all the same traumas I did, the same friends growing up. I mean, we were like this, and she passed away from a real, true physical addiction to opioids. She overdosed on heroin, and so when that happened, just completely devastated me, obviously. And I wanted to do something with the tools that I had in my life for recovery, but also to honor her, like help others and honor her. And so I did this crazy thing. I walked across America, literally coast to coast. It took 8 months. And everywhere I went, every person I talked to, I would bring up her story, my story, and just the overdose addiction crisis in general. And it was a huge success in way more ways than I thought it ever could be. It reached hundreds of thousands of people through social media and other media. I got recognized by the White House Office on National Drug Control Policy. I mean, just crazy. And it helped me like heal a lot from the grief and also to grow in my recovery. I mean, I learned so much on that walk that I'm still processing today. Um, but I was able to turn that pain into a purpose for living, and I'm grateful for it. In essence, I mean, I would love to have my sister back, but I'm so still grateful that I can live my life for her, through her, and in honor for her. Um, and it gives me something to push for, to try to enjoy my life to the best of my abilities, because I still have my health and happiness that I didn't ever think I could have. And so that's my recovery story. It can happen. I'm now a owner of a nonprofit organization. Things are looking great. The future looks good for me, and I'm very grateful for that. And it didn't come easy, but it's available to anyone and everyone, and recovery is possible.